Something unusual has been happening in the world of Linux. And if you've been paying even a little bit of attention, you've probably felt it. For years, Linux has been this powerful, almost mythical operating system that tech enthusiasts, developers, and power users swear by. It's fast, secure, customizable, and in many ways far ahead of Windows and macOS. But despite all of that, it always had one stubborn, unavoidable problem that kept it from truly going mainstream. And now, in 2026, that problem might finally be solved, and if that's true, everything is about to change in a way most people are not prepared for. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to understand what held Linux back for so long. It wasn't performance, because Linux has been outperforming Windows in many workloads for years. It wasn't security either, since Linux is widely considered more secure by design. It wasn't even about software availability in the traditional sense, because while Linux did lack some mainstream apps, there were often alternatives. The real issue, the one that kept Linux from taking over the desktop, was fragmentation combined with user experience inconsistency. That's the problem people felt every time they tried to switch and then quietly returned to Windows after a few days. Think about it like this. On Windows, you download a program, double-click it, and it runs. On macOS, same story. But on Linux, things were never that simple. There were different distributions, different package managers, different desktop environments, and different ways of installing software. One distro used apt, another used DNF, another used Pacman. Some relied on Snap, others preferred Flatpak, and some users avoided both. To a newcomer, it felt like walking into a room where everyone spoke a different dialect of the same language. Technically, it all worked, but practically it was confusing and sometimes frustrating. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Over the last couple of years, a quiet but very deliberate shift has been happening across the Linux ecosystem. Instead of pushing users to understand the complexity, developers started focusing on hiding it. Instead of forcing users to adapt to Linux, Linux started adapting to users. And in 2026, that shift seems to have reached a tipping point. One of the biggest breakthroughs has been the maturation of universal packaging systems, but not in the messy, fragmented way we saw earlier. What's different now is not just that Flatpak and similar technologies exist, but that they are becoming the default across major distributions, with better performance, tighter integration, and significantly improved developer support. Installing an application is starting to feel consistent regardless of which distro you're using. That might sound like a small detail, but it's actually massive, because it removes one of the biggest mental barriers new users faced. But it doesn't stop there. Hardware compatibility, another long-standing pain point, has improved dramatically. In the past, installing Linux on a laptop often felt like a gamble. Would Wi-Fi work? Would the GPU behave properly? Would sleep mode break something? Those uncertainties made Linux feel unreliable to everyday users. Fast forward to 2026, and we're seeing major hardware vendors actively supporting Linux out of the box. Drivers are more unified. Kernel support is faster, and many devices now ship with Linux compatibility in mind from day one. This isn't just progress, it's a fundamental shift in how the industry views Linux. Another major change is happening in the desktop experience itself. For years, Linux desktops were powerful but inconsistent. Some looked modern but lacked stability, others were stable but felt outdated. Now, the leading desktop environments have started converging on a balance between usability and flexibility. They are smoother, more polished, and more predictable. Animations are fluid, settings are easier to navigate, and the overall experience feels cohesive in a way it simply didn't before. You no longer feel like you're using something experimental. It feels complete. And then there's gaming, which used to be one of the biggest deal breakers for Linux adoption. This is where things get almost unbelievable. With technologies like Proton, Vulkan, and continued investment from companies like Valve, Linux gaming has reached a point where many Windows games run not just well, but sometimes better on Linux. Compatibility layers have become so advanced that in many cases, users don't even realize they're running a game that wasn't originally designed for Linux. Combine that with the rise of handheld gaming devices powered by Linux, and suddenly Linux isn't just viable for gaming, it's becoming a preferred platform for a growing number of players. Software availability has also taken a major leap forward. Big-name applications that once ignored Linux are starting to take it seriously. Whether it's through native support, web-based alternatives, or compatibility layers that actually work reliably, the gap is shrinking fast. Developers are realizing that Linux users are not just hobbyists anymore, they are a growing market. And as more users switch, the incentive to support Linux increases, creating a cycle that feeds itself. But perhaps the most important change of all is something less technical and more cultural. The Linux community itself is evolving. In the past, it had a reputation, sometimes deserved, for being unwelcoming to newcomers. If you didn't understand something, you were told to read documentation or learn the basics. While that approach works for developers, it doesn't work for everyday users. Now, there's a noticeable shift toward making Linux more approachable. Documentation is clearer, communities are more supportive, and the focus is increasingly on helping people succeed rather than proving technical superiority. So what does all of this mean in the bigger picture? It means that Linux is no longer just an alternative. It's becoming a legitimate competitor in the desktop space in a way it never was before, and that has serious implications for the entire tech industry. For Microsoft, this is particularly interesting. Windows has dominated the desktop market for decades, not just because it was good, but because it was the default. People used it because it came pre-installed, because their software worked on it, and because switching was too complicated. But if Linux removes those barriers, if it becomes just as easy to use, just as compatible, and just as accessible, then the reasons to stay with Windows start to weaken. And once that happens, even a small shift in user behavior could have a massive impact. For Apple, the situation is a bit different. macOS has a strong ecosystem and a loyal user base, but it's also tied to expensive hardware. If Linux can offer a comparable experience on a wider range of devices, including older or more affordable hardware, it opens the door for users who want performance and flexibility without the premium price tag. That's a powerful proposition, especially in a global market where cost matters. For developers, this shift changes priorities. Supporting Linux used to be optional. Now it's becoming strategic. As the user base grows and the platform stabilizes, ignoring Linux starts to look like a missed opportunity. And as more developers invest in Linux, the ecosystem becomes even stronger, attracting even more users. It's a feedback loop that could accelerate faster than many expect. Now it's important to stay grounded here. Linux hasn't magically become perfect overnight. There are still challenges. Some specialized software is still missing or requires workarounds. Certain workflows are still smoother on Windows or macOS. And while things have improved dramatically, there are still edge cases where things can break or require troubleshooting. But the difference now is that these issues are becoming exceptions rather than the rule. What makes 2026 feel different is that for the first time, the average user can realistically consider Linux without feeling like they're taking a risk. It's no longer just for developers or enthusiasts. It's for students, creators, gamers, and everyday users who just want their computer to work. And when that perception changes, adoption can grow in ways that are hard to predict. There's also a broader trend at play here, one that goes beyond Linux itself. People are becoming more aware of privacy, control, and ownership in technology. They are questioning closed ecosystems and looking for alternatives that give them more freedom. Linux, by its very nature, aligns perfectly with those values. It's open, transparent, and community-driven. As those values become more important to users, Linux becomes more attractive, not just as an operating system, but as a philosophy. If you zoom out and look at the trajectory, it starts to look less like a sudden breakthrough and more like the result of years of gradual progress finally coming together. Improvements in packaging, hardware support, desktop design, gaming, and community culture have all been building quietly in the background. And now, they're aligning in a way that removes the biggest obstacles that once held Linux back. So when people say that Linux has finally solved its biggest problem, they're not talking about a single feature or update. They're talking about the removal of friction. The kind of friction that made people hesitate, that made them second-guess, that made them go back to what was familiar. And once that friction is gone, the path forward becomes much clearer. The real question now is not whether Linux can compete, but how quickly it will grow. Will it remain a niche that slowly expands, or will it reach a tipping point where adoption accelerates rapidly? That depends on a lot of factors, including how well the current momentum is maintained, how companies respond, and how users perceive the changes. But one thing is certain, the conversation around Linux has changed. It's no longer about whether it's good enough, it's about how far it can go. And in 2026, that's a very different conversation than we were having just a few years ago. If you've ever been curious about Linux but held back because it felt too complicated or too risky, this might be the moment to take another look. Not because it's perfect, but because it's finally reaching a point where it doesn't need to be perfect to be a real option. And sometimes that's all it takes to change everything.